Good morning, Acoustic Guitar Forum. It's a Monday morning. I am going to be doing what I'm afraid is going to end up being a somewhat lengthy demo, primarily of the new Bose S1 Pro that I got. That I know there's a lot of interest in this, so I figured I'd go ahead and make this video. I'll try to edit it down so it's not too god-awful long. Anyway, I'm going to first take you on a brief tour of what we'll be looking at today. So, obviously the Bose S1, and for those that don't know it well, it's a pretty simple unit. Let's get some light here. You've got 3 channels, sort of. 1, 2, and 3. The third one is just like a Bluetooth or an aux in. The other 2 are XLR and 1/4 inch inputs. These switches here, the tone match switch. You have an off guitar and mic position. You have onboard reverb. You have a bass and treble EQ, no mids, and then you have a volume. So as you can see right now, I'm going into channel 1, and the volume's at about 2. That's about all I can take for this setup. So guitars I'm going to be using today, my Martin 00018 Custom and my Emerald X20 Custom. My normal gig setup for your average room right now is going through this this little setup here. I have everything very nice set up on a music stand, velcroed and tie wrapped on, so I can transport it as such. But basically, quick rundown: I go through a Ernie Ball VP Junior sound pedal. I use a little X-Vive wireless system for convenience, so I can walk around with my guitar. Up into the body res, from the body res to the LR bags. You can see the settings there. Lows, the notch, and the mids are dialed way out, which is what I needed to do to get the good tone I needed. The guitar does pass through the TC Helicon Harmony GXT, so the harmonies can have the correct key. Everything finally goes into a little Behringer Xenix 1202FX mixer, which for the money is great, and then finally into the Bose. So I'm going to play a little bit just to show you what that sounds like, and that'll be similar to pretty much exactly what I had yesterday in the gig. Chick. So that is with the tone match in the guitar position, and then all the setup I had on my panel here. Couldn't be happy in the city at night. Can't see the stars for the neon light. Sidewalks dirty and the river is worse. The underground trains all run in reverse. Nobody here can dance like me. Everybody clapping on the 1 and the 3. Am I the last of my kind? Am I the last of my kind? So that's at about 2. Anything higher in this my small living room, practice room here starts to feedback on the bass. At yesterday's gig, I only had it maybe at 2.5, and that was more than fine. People sitting literally maybe 7 to 10 feet away at the bar where I had the Bose literally sitting on the bar were fine. And then people, it was a 30-foot wide by 60-foot deep room with very high ceilings, and people reported that they could hear just fine. I'm going to go ahead just to hear the differences. What I found with this system is basically, once I have everything dialed in, the difference between these two guitars, which the Emerald and the Martin, which both contain K&Ks, you know, it's minor differences. The Emerald is a little hotter, and I tend to have a low end needing to be pulled out a little bit. So yeah, that's just a little hotter. If I just back off the volume on the Para a little bit, then it's pretty much right where it needed to be. Couldn't be happy in the city at night. Can't see the stars for the neon light. Sidewalks dirty and the rivers was. The underground trains all running reverse. Nobody here can dance like me. Everybody clapping on the 1 and the 3. Am I last in my kind? Am I last in my kind? With apologies to Jason Isbell for his great song. I'm not a singer. I make my wife do most of the singing. I sing a couple of songs. So anyway, I'm gonna phase 2 of this. What I wanted to do was to try some direct in on this. So you can't see over there, and I didn't want to carry it over here. But basically what we have is I've got this microphone straight in, and then I've got this guitar straight in with the little wireless system here. So first up, I'm going to do the mic real quick. So bringing up the mic, check 1, check. All right, so that's like halfway up of the available power. Like that's, you know, 100% more than what I had through there. This is with everything flat and no reverb, and the tone match switched off. So this is the tone match switch to going to guitar, to check right there. So you can see it automatically sounds a little, you know, better than it did a second ago. Check, and now we're going from guitar to the vocal switch. Check. Okay, so there's even a little bit more improvement. I'm going to dial in a little bit of reverb. That's a lot of reverb. That's only about halfway up. So if I back that off a little bit, so right about check right there. That sounds pretty good. And this is with everything flat. So if I wanted to dial up some highs, check. That's 50%. Check. That's dialing it out. So that's flat with the highs, and then bass, check, up with the bass, more bass. Check, down, dialing out the bass. So yeah, I'd probably dial in a little bit of bass, check. All right, so that's not too bad. That's about halfway. Obviously, it needs a lot more volume, a lot more power here than, you know, when it doesn't have the boost of the boost signal of the mixer. But I'm standing behind this, and this is very close, and it sounds pretty good right here. I'm only assuming that it sounds good out there where you are. So now I'm going to bring the guitar up. So this is, again, tone match switch all the way off. Reverb off, flat. Okay, so bringing it up. Gross, flat and muddy. And this is what I was dealing with when I first tried this thing out the first day with nothing. These guitars are both K&K equipped. So I'm going to go ahead and dial that back just so it's not quite so awful. going to move the switch to guitar. So right there, it took out a lot of the bass. It brings back the bass. So that seems to be the difference in the tone match between the guitar and the mic. The guitar dials out a lot of the bass, but the mic position brings back in some of the low end. So that still sounds pretty gross. I'm going to go ahead now with K&K pickups. For me, I've always had to dial up the trebles, dial back the bass a little, and dial back the mids a ton. There's no mids on this, so I'm going to dial up the treble and dial back the bass. So irregardless of what I do, it still sounds kind of gross. I'm going to dial in a little reverb, not that that's going to matter. Now it's just gross with reverb. So now I'm going to, and that was at about 50% of the power itself. Now what I'm going to do is what I needed to do the first day, and what I'll always have to do with this system with a K&K pickup, is to put my little K&K mini pure belt clip preamp on. Okay, so now I have the belt clip, the K&K belt clip preamp on, which allows me to, has 3-band EQ, low, mids, and highs, and then just a volume. So that's with everything flat. Volume is about halfway up here. No reverb, and still on the switch 1. So I'm going to go from this to the guitar switch. So that's the tone match with the guitar. And just for grins, I'm going to go up to the vocals. So again, just brings in a little bit of bass. Bring a little reverb. So right there you can see, just with some minor tweaking on the K&K belt clip, I can get a tone decent. So right now I'm up a little bit on the trebles, I'm down a little bit on the bass, I'm up a little bit on the reverb up here, I'm about halfway on the Bose itself. So, and then with the normal, and this is pretty much the normal dial-in that I have to do with the K&K. Any K&K, both the Martin and the Emerald, is I have to dial up the trebles, dial back the bass, and then the mids are hit or miss. It depends on the room and the amp. So. Dial back the treble a little bit up here. Couldn't be happy in the city at night. Can't see the stars for the neon light. Sidewalks dirty and the river is worse. The underground trains all run in reverse. Nobody here can dance like me. Everybody clapping on the 1 and the 3. Am I the last in my kind? Am I last in my kind? Probably dial in a little more bass there. So anyway, as you can see, It's a powerful amp. This thing weighs 15 pounds. I mean, it is light. Goes on a pole nice. It can sit back. It can sit straight down. It can sit sideways as a monitor up. It fills the room. We played it, used it on a gig yesterday, and I had it set just above 2 using my mixer setup, and it filled the room, literally. You know, it wasn't loud, but, you know, when I went and talked to people between the first and second set, everybody said that they could hear everything very well, and, you know, the place was packed at that time. With a lot of ambient noise, and the music we play is kind of mellow and soft stuff. So the fact that they said they could hear everything was really good. Impressive unit. They don't give them away. $600. You know, that's a lot better than probably the nearest equivalent in weight and performance in the AER. Another $100 for the battery. That's typical Bose gouging, but oh well. But yeah, I think this thing's a winner. This setup right now, I'm really excited about as is, because I can take, you know, a microphone, a cord, the power cord, my K&K, and my guitar, and all of that can go into my gig bag case with the guitar, and then this 15-pound amp. And my wife and I can go and you know, play any gig anywhere. Put a battery in, and you've got you know, you've got a busking gig. So. Good job, Bose. They've raised the bar in portability. I'm a fan now. And anyway, yeah, just wanted to share that with AGF. Sorry for the length of this. I will try to edit some of it out. But Mythos 1979 gives this one 2 thumbs up. Peace out.